Okay, good afternoon. My name is CJ DePradine, and I am coming to you from untappedgoldmines.com. And I could not be more excited, especially with all that's going on in the world today, to have Chip Baker from Success Chronicles here with me today. So welcome, Chip. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited that you and your warm soul are here today to help us, distract ourselves and think about some of the positive stuff that we can look forward to in our world. So just a little bit about Chip to give you a bit of background, and I'll let Chip elaborate a little bit more as after I share. So Chip is a fourth education educator, teacher, and coach of 20 years. Amazing. Chip is also a best-selling author, motivational speaker, life coach, and consultant. Chip created the Success Chronicles, where he interviews people from all walks of life and shares their stories for inspiration and motivation. And I just so happen to have been blessed to be one of those people that Chip reached out to. So that's how we connected. Very grateful for that opportunity. And in addition, Chip is also a certified John Gurdon Power Positive Leadership trainer. So how'd I do, Chip? Fill us in. What else is there?
Well, I think you did awesome. First, I want to say thanks so much for having me on and giving me the opportunity to be on your show and hang out with you again. I appreciate the warm welcome and everything that you put out there, but really, I'm just an ordinary guy working real hard to achieve some extraordinary things. So it's perfect for me.
I love that statement. An ordinary guy trying to do some extraordinary things. So let's
That's
talk
it.
about how you do that, like your day to day. You're a teacher. So give us a little background about your teaching today.
Well, like you said, I'm a fourth generation educator. Blessed and fortunate to be raised by some great people, as well as to be around some awesome folks to learn from in my career and my day to day. Really, I'm a special education teacher. And throughout my career, I've done pretty much everything under the special ed umbrella. And that's my day to day. But then I also have the Success Chronicles author speaker as well. So
Amazing. And your book, your best selling book, what is that book title? Where can we find that?
well, the most recent one is effective conversation to ignite relationships, and on my social media is at Chip Baker TSC, and the links are there. I'd love for you to go purchase it at my online store, my Square online store. That way, I can get you a signed copy. Uh,
Ooh.
so, uh, so if you don't mind, check out my social media and check out the links there.
Fantastic. Excellent. And I will post those links wherever I post this audio and video. So if you didn't catch that, please feel free to follow through with the posts that I share. And hopefully Chip will share these as well. And
Yes.
we'll give you access to everything that you need. Awesome. So Chip, we had a really great conversation a couple days ago about untapped gold mines and what you believe are the greatest untapped gold mines that we're not maybe taking as much advantage of or looking at as much as we should in either our organizations, in our world, or whatever. So tell me a little bit about what you see that untapped gold mines are today.
I think the biggest deal is, most times people don't realize that they are the untapped gold mines.
Right.
You know, it's important to just be present in the moments and know that you have the possibility to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve in your life.
Right.
You
So
know,
how
and
do you
so
help people see that though?
well, I think how I help people see that, I think and this is not a plug. You asked me a question, so I'm about to give you an answer here.
Yeah, it's great.
So it's not a plug, but through my Success Chronicles, I interview people from all walks of life and just share their stories because my definition of success may be different than your definition of success, and
That's
any other
right.
people, and our paths, and depending on the season or times of our lives, it's going to be different as well. And so I think the ability to take ownership in your journey and knowing that I don't know, you're in control of your destiny, and
Right.
when we really just truly figure that out, I think we are I mean, there's no more limits on us. But we can do whatever we want to do.
Right. So you mentioned two key words in that statement, and that was success and ownership.
Yes.
And you and I spoke about like just getting down to the root of identifying what our words mean to us when we talk about things. So tell me and tell our listeners what you define success as, and then we'll talk about ownership.
Oh man, I'm only the one asking people the definition of success.
Right?
No, I think for me, it has to do with happiness. For me, success, just because, like I said, just like with weather, and just like with, there's seasons in our lives, and in our lives, that definition varies, based on your goals and your perspectives. But really, what it boils down to is, are you living a life that you are happy with and that you feel fulfilled with? So that would be my definition of success.
Right. Okay. So living a happy, fulfilled life, whatever that
Yes.
looks like. And
Yes.
that could be a very simple, minimalistic life. It doesn't have to be
Oh,
attached to significant finances or
no.
fame and fortune, right?
No, I'm glad that I woke up this morning.
Right.
I'm glad that
Healthy.
healthy. Yeah, I have the ability to be, here with you on the interview. Like, I mean, like just the simple things. And I think less is more,
Right.
if you will. And so I think, when you can simplify things in your life, it allows you to have more quality over quantity.
Beautiful. Okay.
Hmm.
So next question, you spoke about taking ownership
Yeah.
over what that success looks like and how you continuously create that and kind of build a world around that. So what do you think of when you think of ownership? What do we need to do?
For me, and I can only speak for Chip, I think, you and only you can, determine your success,
Right.
and when we can really just understand that, um, I don't know, it allows us to create the disciplines in our life, which allows us to be the best versions of ourselves. And when I say disciplines, I mean habits. I mean, the choices we make, the people we put ourselves around, the things that we learn, the things that we take in to reflect on, to be grateful for. All of those things come into play, and we are in control of that. Like, I mean, it's so important to, and there was something that when we talked before that I mentioned, I think it may have surprised you, you know,
Oh, I lost your audio.
hello,
There we go. I can hear you now. Okay, so
hello.
good. I lost you at there's something that you mentioned before that might have surprised me. And then it just disappeared on me. So what
Oh,
was
that's
it?
no good. All right, so
That
we're
was a
back.
surprise. Yeah.
So, just mentioned that, it's like unacceptable to have average anything, like the goal is to strive to be the best version of yourself. And so, I think when you do that, it allows you to really be focused in on what's important. It allows you to prioritize, which also allows you to receive the maximum benefit for you and the people that you love in your life.
Right. Right. And I love that you say that, and especially you from your background and experience. So we spoke a
Yeah.
little bit about where that comes from for you. So can you tell our listeners where that concept of not being anything but the best that you can be in whatever it is you're doing, where does that come from for you? Tell us about that journey.
Oh, I guess it comes from the firm foundation that I have with my family. I was, like we said earlier, blessed and fortunate to be a fourth generation educator. My family's church folk with no S.
Okay.
Church folk and educator. 'Cause there's a difference between church folk and church folks, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there's a difference. Like
And
church
what is
folk.
that difference?
So like church folk, they're in church from can till can't. Okay.
Okay.
If the church is open, well, even if the church isn't open, sometimes they're there, right?
Right.
But reason being is my mother and my grandmother were ministers of music in our churches growing up.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
so, yes. And so, as a young person, you don't understand all of that, like, oh, church again,
Right.
doing all these, so we got to go do it. You don't understand that. But as you get older, you appreciate the disciplines and the things that you learn from that. I think that the drive within me come from being able to be raised by great people, but also being able to be around amazing people to learn from. And so, just the firm foundation, I think that's where it comes from.
Right. And so all these wonderful people in your life have given
Yeah.
you this great foundation, and you took that and went on to do football, and you've gotten yourself into business and education. So what got you on these journeys in the first place? Like what inspired you?
I think, as a young person, I was made to do some things. No, no,
Oh, I won't tell anybody.
yeah, oh, no, no, it's okay. I'm perfectly fine with it because, as a young, I remember my mother in church saying, you're going to give service. We're going to find a way to give service.
Right.
And so, uh, I not only was I told those things, but I saw my mother do those things.
Mm,
So I saw the difference that it made in the lives of other people, the joy that it brought, the dividends of what you receive when you have nothing and you're just striving to help others and you have nothing. A big man finds ways to take care of you anyway. And
right.
so, I've lived a life where I've seen those things happen, and I'm wholeheartedly bought into the fact that if you just, the Zig Ziglar quote, if you help enough people get the things they want in life, you'll receive the things you want in life. And I mean, just time and time again, that's happened to me in my life.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what a beautiful story. And especially today. I mean, obviously our world is going through some stuff with this,
Yeah.
virus running rampant, and many of us are trying to hold on to what can be and what is positive. And if you look at Italy, I mean, somebody decided somewhere that it
Yeah.
was a good idea to get out on the balcony at 6 p.m. in the afternoon or in the evening there and bang some pots and pans and start encouraging the community to get out and sing, right? Talk about leading by example to create a better way through whatever it is we're going through. So tell me about some of the things that you lean into, some of the tools, some of the resources, some of the maybe even the modalities or the mental models that you bring forward to help people lean into what could be and untap those gold mines from within.
Man, that's some good stuff. That's a good question.
I know you
I
had great
think
answers, so I know I'm looking forward to them.
Well, I think for me, you have to look within to win. I think it starts with, the person that you are, and I think you have to have reflection for projection. And what I mean for that is you have to find time in your life to uh, have noise cancellation time, if you will, to where you
Mm,
can focus in and be grateful for what you have, but then also figure out the plans to continue to improve. And so um, again, for me, I think that's where it starts. And so, based on where you want to go in your journey, if you will, whatever that journey looks like for you, um, then that's where you decide, okay, who are the people that I want to put myself around? What are the books that I want to read? What are the YouTube videos? What are the interviews that I want to listen to? This would
right.
be a good one.
Yeah.
Here, this is a great platform. Uh, you know,
Right.
what are the things that I want to take in that I know will help me be the best version of myself? And so, for me, all of those things that I mentioned are things that I reflect on. I'm a big maximizer of time. And so, for me, I know that in order for me to be, get to my journey efficiently and effectively, I have to maximize my time each day. And
Right.
so that's what's important to me. And that's how I do what I do.
Right. Excellent. So gratitude,
Yes.
such a simple but powerful concept. You've mentioned it a few times. So how do you help people tap into their gratitude? What does that look like?
I think for me, we have to understand that Gratitude is the attitude that determines our altitude. And so we have to make sure that we're grateful for the blessings that we do have. Um, I think like anything, things could always be better, but uh, it can be way worse too. And
Right.
so, I think that it's important to always remain humble and hungry.
Humble and hungry.
It's super important to make sure that we remain humble and hungry. Know that again, like I said, things could be better, but it could be way worse. But then also know that my striving, working to get towards, still have that hungry mentality.
That hungry mentality. Yes.
Yeah.
With humility and
Oh yeah,
humbleness
humble and
attached to
hungry.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, humble and hungry.
Yeah. Excellent. And so when you are having a conversation with leaders who you are trying to, I'm assuming, so correct me if I'm wrong, you're trying to help get to that place and some place greater so that they can also unlock this humble and hungry mentality with their
Right.
people. What is the experience that they can look forward to with you? Like what does it mean to be a John Gordon coach and trainer? Like how do you do this?
No, I just think you just give be open, honest, and genuine, like hopefully, you guys have already seen from me already. Just for me, it's just, I can only share my experiences from things that I've experienced. And so for me, man, the fact that I am in position to be able to share my experiences with others to make a positive difference in the life of others, I mean, like, it blows me away,
Right.
so I'm truly passionate about it. I truly love what I do, not just like, not just enjoy, like I absolutely love it,
Right.
and it lights me on fire to help others because I've had so many people in my life help me. So,
Mm,
the experience, hopefully from my end is that I project a genuine, open, honest experience because it's important to me not to just leave a legacy. For me, it's important to live a legacy each day by my day-to-day actions.
right. That's beautiful. And
Thank you.
so I gather that when people are in a room with you, that comes across as extremely infectious.
I hope so. That's the goal. I hope they leave there sick with positivity.
Right.
I
I
hope
love
they,
that. Sick with positivity.
I hope
I'm
they,
going to use that one for
I hope,
that tagline for this.
man, I hope they go out and spread the infectious, positivity in our world. I hope that you know their life is transformed. It's transformational. Not just a base transaction.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell our listeners what you see the difference is between, transformational and transactional?
Now that, CJ, is a great question because I have a great example of the difference between transactional and transformational.
Perfect.
So, and sometimes when I speak, I use this analogy here, but I'm gonna share this with you. It's a pretty good one.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm
so,
bracing for it.
let's go. Get ready. Get ready.
Let's go get
Go get it,
it.
baby. So, transactional versus transformational. So, a while back, I went to the store and little gas station store, and I walk in, they'll get my favorite gum, and I just go pick up the gum off the shelf. I go to the register. The guy, really doesn't make eye contact. He just takes the gum, scans it, tells me the price, and pay. He gives me the change, and that's what it is. So to me, that's a transaction, right?
Right.
It's the base transaction, no emotions, feelings involved, whatever, just in and out. So when you look at transformational, a few days after that, I go to Chick-fil-A, and you know, we all know the experience that you get at Chick-fil-A. I mean, is it the
Mm.
same way where you live? I mean, like,
We
yeah.
don't have Chick-fil-A. I have to drive to Seattle to
No.
get Chick-fil-A. I'm from
Okay.
Vancouver, BC, and I, I,
Okay.
I mean, experientially, the food is amazing.
Okay.
Outside
So,
of that, yeah, don't have a lot of transformation
okay.
experience.
Okay. So you have been to
I
Chick-fil-A.
have, yeah,
Okay. So let me just set the scene for you. Here in my Texas Chick-fil-A, we have like 3, 4 stations. Like if you go through the drive-through, you know, the first station, there's a person there. They take your order with the pad or whatever.
right.
And you order, and I mean, they're just so happy to see you. Like, it's like they're floating, like they're just, and you say thank you, and they say my pleasure, and you go to the next person, and they, hello, smiling, they check you, or you have this, and yes, and you say thank you, and then they say my pleasure, So I'm thinking, man, these people, they don't even know me, and they're happy to see me. It's their pleasure,
Right,
right?
right.
So I get to the next station, which is a check station. They double check the order. They're still smiling. They're happy. Same thing. Thank you. My pleasure. So I get to the window, and the guy that's there. This scenario, he's handing me my bag and make sure everything is good. And again, he says my pleasure. And so, um, from that experience, beside the fact that I'm getting amazing food, there was smiling. Everywhere said my pleasure, like they were happy to see me, and none of them know me. you know, from that experience, that changed my mood. That put me in a different, I don't know, like I was floating when I left the place, right? And
Right.
so what that allowed me to do is it allowed me to go on and make a, positive difference in the lives of others just because of that experience. So for me, that's the difference between transactional and transformational. And we want to live a transformational life so that when people leave us, without a doubt, we know that they're better.
Right. Great. And I love the beauty of that as well as the simplicity of that. So we spoke about, the simplicity of things at the beginning of this
Yeah.
call. And it sounds to me like you know, one of the approaches that you seem to lean into a lot is creating those simple things in life and maybe for others
Oh,
to untap whatever it is in the moment that they need. So let's talk about simplicity as it pertains to transformation. So saying my pleasure, using a smile, greeting people with
yes.
like an air of it's really nice to see you and coming across genuine. That
Yeah.
comes across as, from your story around Chick-fil-A. But what else is there? What other simple things can we do as leaders?
It's important to know what our OS is, our operating system.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in a device, all devices have operating systems. And they're updated. And all of those same thing with our life. And we have to know what our operating system is. And for me, I have some things in my life that I use that that really help me be who I am. And one thing that I like to share is my SHG principle. And, I think it allows, I talked about, me being a maximizer, striving to maximize my potential, and then also being transformational to make a positive difference in our world. So for me, there's one thing that's really, really simple that I've incorporated in my life. And for the kids that I've coached the last few years, like it's been the rules. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have a lot of rules. Yeah, we're gonna learn football. We're gonna teach. I don't have all. This is the rules,
Right.
period. And it's the SHG principle. And so the first deal, the S in the SHG principle is show up.
Mm,
You know, if
beautiful.
if you sign up for something, have your butt there.
Right. Okay.
Be present and be in the moment. If you're not able to do that or show up, communicate effectively. You know,
Right.
so that's the S. H is have a great attitude. And I already, told you, gratitude is the attitude that determines our altitude. And
Right.
so we have to remain humble and hungry for them, the ones that we're going to experience, be optimistic about that. And then the G is give your all. And so, depending on the day, you may not have 100% to give. Now, you may have 70 or 60 or 40, but whatever you have to give that today, and I think when you can SHG today, okay, well, that's a great day,
Right.
Okay, well, I'm going to reflect. Then tomorrow, SHG tomorrow, well, that's another great day, and you will have gone a few days. Oh, now I had a great week. Oh, now it's been a great month, and it goes on a year, and just like I said earlier, now what that does is that allows you to not just leave a legacy, but it allows you to live a legacy by your day-to-day actions, and you maximize your potential because you're the best version of yourself every day.
Right. I love it.
Yeah.
So simple, so beautiful.
Yeah. Simple.
And I love that in the earlier part of our conversation, we spoke about that for you, it's not acceptable to give anything less than your best. But I'm hearing from, this SHG concept that maybe your best today is only 70% of yourself or 60% of yourself,
Oh,
as
yeah.
long
I
as you
mean,
give that.
yeah, when we have realistic every day, yeah, I'm not 100% day. Some days I may be sick. Some days I may not have gotten the proper rest that I need. Just may be an off day. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But whatever it is that you have to you know, give that effort to give that. And I think when you give the effort, it shows that you care. It shows that it means something to you, and it's important to you. And again, you receive that back because people see that you're giving maximum effort.
Right. I love it. And so it's maximum of who you are today, not necessarily
Yeah,
maximum of who you expect to be
right.
tomorrow. And I think that's something that we get lost in when we think about developing ourselves. We sort of
Yeah,
compare ourselves to this North Star of like what we expect ourselves to be. And we give ourselves a lot of flack if we can't show up like that day to day. Whereas it
exactly.
sounds like you're saying, let's give ourselves permission to acknowledge, what our OS is right
Yeah,
now and acknowledge that working from that with our SHG is just good, smart, simple rules to living.
exactly.
Excellent. Okay, well, thank you for that. One other thing I'd love to know is what else needs to be heard in this world today? What comes to mind for you? What's been on your mind lately?
Oh man, what needs to be heard in our world today? I think in our world today, people need to hear that it's okay to enjoy the moments. I mean, it's okay to slow down and just truly be present in the moment. I think that's the secret sauce. You go to places, we have a secret sauce. We won't tell you that. For me, I'm giving you the
Right.
secret sauce here. You know, I think that for me, the secret sauce is, being able to know that, you know, learning from our past experiences. And I think I mentioned this earlier. Planning for the future. Knowing, have a destination of where you want to get to, but really just like being present in the moment. I think that's important for us to just to be able to do that and be the best versions of myself each day.
Right. So let's define being present. What does that look like? 'Cause there's some of us that are chronically busy. We
Yeah,
have our own, hyperachievers or restlessness kind of saboteurs, and we're constantly on the go. And some of us really don't even know how to slow down or be in the moment. It's an odd feeling. What do you recommend people do to be present? What does that mean?
okay. You have some good questions. CJ, you making me go deep. We talked earlier, man. Like, and that was some deep stuff we got. We're going deep again
We're
here.
going deep again. Yeah.
I think for me personally, it starts with making time for yourself, um, to, like I said, for reflection, making time for yourself to prepare effectively and plan effectively. You know, and you have to have self-care. It's not selfish to have self-care. And, you know, I think, you know, at the end of the day, you can't pour out of an empty cup. Like if you don't have anything to give, to pour out, you can't pour anything out. So
Right.
I think that's where it starts, you know, making that time. I think when you have time with people, an example is, you know, if I'm picking up my son from school and we're on you know, riding home, I put my cell phone down. You know,
Right.
this is your time, you know, being present in the moment. You know, if we're at dinner, you know, we're all going to be in the moment. You know, if I'm on an interview, I'm not taking a phone or whatever. Like I'm in the moment, you know, because I signed up for this. I told you I'd be here. So I'm present in the moment, you know. And I think the big thing also is planning. You know, prioritize your time and plan it. You know, I have a deal that I have man, who got you pulling some good stuff out here, CJ. A balanced pie is what I use, you know, on top of the SHG principle. And really, you know, you prioritize. For me, I prioritize, you know, like the top 10 things that's important for me. And, you know, each day I strive to be the best version of myself in each of those areas. And so, you know, the typical, you know, if you can picture a pie chart, you know, the total equals, you know, 100%. But really, it's unacceptable for me to give 10% to anything. So like my pie chart's like 1,000, right? Because I have 100
Right.
in each of those
Right.
things.
Right.
And so, you know, each day you just have to, you know, if I get to 70% on one, well, I have to make it up the next day. You know, that reflection for projection. And then, you know, now it falls back to the SHG. So, you know, that's kind of, you know, just my operating system of how I do
Right.
things and how I strive to be in the moment.
Right. So it sounds like you subscribe to the idea that, you know, we have to just try to be better today than we were yesterday.
Effort counts.
Effort counts, right?
Yeah.
So as we are present in the moment for ourselves, present in the moment for others, and striving for that, you know, better today concept. I'm gathering from you, and I'm hearing from you that takes a lot of planning and preparation to even know what that looks like.
Do I know what it looks like?
No, just for individuals, like it
Oh,
takes a bit of planning and preparation. So you
oh,
use your, you know, balanced pie to
right.
get there. Is this a tool that others can access, or how do they get their own view of balanced pie? It sounds really tasty. I'm just saying.
Well, I haven't quite put it out there yet, but I'll just share. I have a okay, so you're going deep with me. So CJ, I have a formula chart for life, and this is really not out there yet.
Okay. Oh.
So I have and I'll show it to you.
Okay.
This is the formula chart. I don't know if you can see the formula
Oh,
chart for
wow.
life. And, you know, some of the things that I've mentioned already, you know, as far as the balanced pie, SHG, you know, these are the things that, you know, these are formulas to help you be successful in life. And yes, the balanced pie is in there, and I'll try to show the audience.
Ooh.
And that's what it
Okay.
looks like right there.
Great.
I'll hold it for a couple seconds so you guys can
Faith,
see them.
family, work, personal growth, relationships, making a difference,
Yes.
being present, attitude, effort, being the glue. Love it.
Yes. So that's the balanced pie right there. The areas that I strive to work at in my life personally, to be in my operating system, to be the best version of myself.
Right. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So
Yeah.
now that you've shared that and the secret is out, we know your secret sauce is coming. When can people access this?
Uh, so what you can do is here probably in the next few days or so, I'll have it out on my online store, and I think I sent you the link for that. So
Yes.
you can just go on to my online store and you know, order it, and I can get you one, send you one, an autograph one.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I will post links to all of that on this
Yeah.
page. One last thing. If there's any other question I should be asking you today that'll make a difference in the world tomorrow and make a difference with the leaders, I know I asked the tough stuff.
Yeah, I
What
don't
would that
know.
question be?
uh, Yeah, CJ, I don't know if there's anything else that I mean, you got pretty deep and had some really good questions, and I'm appreciative of that.
Thank you.
Um, I don't know. I think for me, I can just say, I know you've asked a couple times like where they could go find some of those things, but I would just like to say this, a lot of times the typical things that people say, go like, follow, subscribe, and all of that stuff. Well, I'm a little bit different because I realized a long time ago in my life that it's not about me,
Right.
right? And so the way I really like to say is it ain't about me. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So you really understand what I mean.
Yeah.
But yes, if you go on all of my social media and check it out, I would love for you to do that. But the bigger picture is I would love for you to, if you see something that you like and someone comes to mind that you care about, please share it with them, because that's how we can make our world be a better place.
That's great. Excellent.
Yeah.
And on that note, I thank you so much for all of your time today. I'm very, very appreciative. I feel very blessed to even be able to do this.
Yeah.
You were in part a little bit of inspiration because you got me the fire going under me to have these great conversations, and it's
Awesome.
been nagging in my brain for a while to sort of do something like this. But I just wanted to thank you and express my gratitude to you for being here, for being an inspiration, for being a motivation, and for sharing some of your secret sauce and some of that great stuff that without doubt will probably make a difference for our
Hope so.
audience and give them the opportunity to look within a little bit more, because like you said at the beginning, the greatest untapped gold mines are typically within us already. They're within
That's it.
ourselves. Sometimes we spend an extraordinary amount of time looking outwards, where sometimes the extraordinary is absolutely within. And I thank you for hitting home that message at the start and allowing
Yeah.
me to reiterate that at the beginning.
Well, like they said, Chick-fil-A, my pleasure.
My pleasure. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Chip.
Thank you.
I'm just going to double check that we have questions or don't have any questions on the chat. I want to open it
Sure.
up because I know that we do have a listener here. So nothing has come through. I do occasionally hear from people that they're so captivated they just stay present. So I really appreciate that our listeners may be doing that today. But nonetheless, if anybody does have questions, if anybody does have comments, wherever I post this, wherever Chip and I share this, I encourage you to ask away. And until then, look within. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and take care. And I'm going to try and find my mouse so I can find the recording.